Hi guys, I'm Bex Baroana and today I'm going to be talking you through some mountain bike hacks which I've learned over the years. So the first few hacks are basically ways of carrying things on your bike so that when you go out on your bike you can be self-sufficient. Number one is a tube. I always have a tube which actually a hack within a hack. Come in a bit closer. A hack within a hack is to make sure you always tape the tube itself first before you tape it to the bike. Basically, I learnt this from Tracy Mosley, and she was halfway down a race run and a tube had managed to wobble off her bike and it had got all tangled up in her back wheel. So make sure you tape the tube up first. My handy little strap has actually got a separate bit to tape it, and then you put it onto the frame. So that's a hack within a hack. Hack 1 and hack 1.A. Hack number 2 is if you carry one of these one-up components, tools, super good little tool, just fits inside your stem there. You can also carry it inside the pump. I'll get to that on hack 3. Basically the tool has got everything you need. If you have any problems on the trail, it's got a splitter, it's got the little multi-tool, it's got a little hex key, it's got all the Allen keys you need. If you put these two tools together, that's actually an 8mm, so that's a cool little tool on there. You can also put a CO2 on the end there. Hack 3 is the one-up components pump. Basically, I always carry this on the frame on this cool little holder, and that's actually never, touch wood, never come out at a race yet, so that's been great, or even just riding in general. So it's super snug in there. The pump itself is really good. You can actually fit in the end of it. I've got plugs, but you can actually fit the tool. If you don't want it in the stem, you can actually put the tool inside there. So that's pretty cool. Another cool feature about the pump is if the little green bit at the end, if you take it apart, this is actually a CO2 applicator thing. So basically you can pump your tyre up with your CO2, then put this back in the pump and then top it up with the pump. So yeah, always carry this pump on your bike, it's mega. Hack 4 is a good way to carry electrical tape or Gorilla Tape, and it's basically just wrap it around your pump, just wrap it as much as you think you're going to need, and you can get out of a lot of tricky situations with tape. So yeah, handy. Hack 5 is how to carry cable ties. If you have a look in there, you'll see that I've got some little cable ties bent in half and they're just rammed in. So if you need them on the trail, you just stick your finger in, pull them out, and basically they can also get you out of a lot of trouble, like if your mech's hanging off or something like that, or something's rattling on your bike. But yeah, to store them, you basically just bend them in half. Don't like pinch it too tight because you want that bit of tension to hold them in the crank. So you just shove them in there. Whatever size cable ties, you might have to cut them down, obviously your crank's only this wide. Hack 6 is how to carry your quick links. So when you're out on the trail and you might snap a chain, you'll want to carry a quick link. So if you're running this tool, you can actually store the quick link inside the tool, which is really handy. These two holes, I haven't got one at the moment, but these two holes you put each end in. An alternative way, and this is how I've carried them in the past before I've used these tools, is you just tape them together with a bit of tape and you put them on one of your cables up here, like either your brake cable or gear cable. Another way, which I have done in the past, is to attach it to your saddle, just here. So I've not actually got a quick link on this bike, so I'm actually going to show you how I do it. So if you have a look, get the quick link, put them inside each other like that. Basically, just wrap them up, so then they're not going to fall apart. So then you've now got them as a nice little parcel. And then I'm going to opt for it under the saddle out of the way. So basically just take yourself a bit of electrical tape off and find the saddle rail just like that. Try and get it on the inside of the rail and then just wrap it up. Wrap it up nice and tight. And that will be there when you need it. Hack number 7 is basically one that's probably saved me quite a lot of money in the past, because if you run your brake and your shifter clamps slightly loose, so not too loose, but slightly loose, it just means that if you crash, they'll move as opposed to snap off. Been super useful in the past for me, and I still do it now, because like if we have to do a race, like if we're doing a race and we have to manage the whole day and you might have a crash, yeah, you probably wouldn't finish the race if you had no lever, but if it was just slightly scuffed, you just push it back. So yeah, basically you want to just use your Allen keys to find where it pinches up completely tight, and then just back it off like a quarter of a turn. Hack 8, this is one to keep your bike looking fresh and tidy and to stop too much noise with your cables bashing each other. And that's to use this cool spiral wrap, which you can just put around your cables. It just finishes the bike off really nice. Hack 9 is for all those people out there that are really good at cross-threading. Basically, I've learned over the years to always attach the bolt, whatever bolt you're using, always attach it with your hand first before you get a tool on there to tighten it up, because basically with your hand you can feel for it much better and you can feel it biting onto the proper threads, as opposed to jamming it in with a tool and making your own new threads, which, yeah, in the past, I'm not going to lie, I put a bottle cage on and nearly wrecked my frame. So yeah, always hand screw the bolts in to start with and then get the tool on it. Hack 10, this is if you're setting up tubeless and you're struggling to make it stay up, basically. Quite often you'll set tubeless up, be like, great news, and then go inside or go to sleep, and then the next day you want to go for a ride and it's flat. And basically I've found that once you've got the rim onto the bead onto the rim, if you just bounce it like this, this helps the sealant move around the tyre and just get into all them places where air's trying to leak out of. And then I would straight away put it into my bike and start doing some little bunny hops, slamming it around, and the best thing to do is actually just go for like a 10-minute ride, or if you can, just go straight out on your mountain bike ride, and that way the sealant just gets into all the little places where if you leave it overnight, air's just going to come out of. So that's a few bike hacks with me that I've learned over the years. Hopefully some of them are useful for you, and yeah, going to be making some more videos, so if there's any specific videos you want, just comment below.